there also became a point where I realized like you get so many no's in a row that you're like, at least for me, I got to the point where I'm just like, I'm just going to assume that everything I work on from now on is going to get a no. Because like that's what was happening anyway. And it's like, especially right now, it's such a risk averse time. So it's like people might say no because the movie's too big, or they're not making these types of movies anymore, or these movies are really risky, or, I broke in with a coming of age script and I wanted to write coming of age John Hughes movies and immediately learned that people will say no to those because you can't put a movie star in a film about somebody who's in high school because you're probably going to cast some young actor. So it's like, but we need movie star. We need Glenn Powell. Who's Glenn Powell supposed to play? So it's like I've learned all those things that can cause you to get a no. But even if you do the opposite of all that and you have something that you think is amazing, you could also just get a no because no is the default. Like also when I was an assistant and I would hear, or like an intern, and I would hear all the ideas that the execs would say no to, I think it just helped me realize like it's not personal. It's just that they have to say no to most things. And they have to really, really love something to say yes. And it's just very rare for them to say yes. So, um, yeah, I think it's like, I don't know if that's helpful to people, but I just had to look at it in terms of like, assume you are going to get a no. And you should love your script and your project so much that it's okay if you get a no. And you're writing it for you, because if you're writing it just to get a yes, which I've also done, it's like, oh, I'll write this like studio comedy that's like a buddy comedy, and I think people will love this. Like, you're just not. It doesn't fill you with the same creative juice because you're writing it because you think you're going to get a yes. Um, but I think there's a lot of like left of center films that I love, like Barbarian or something, that are like so weird. That movie apparently got like 200 passes from production companies before somebody said yes. So it's like those are the types of movies that um, sometimes the really unique stuff, it's getting a no because it's unique and nobody wants to take the chance. But then when they do, everybody's like, oh, now everybody in town is like, what's our version of Barbarian? Like, so now they all want that. So it's like, but yeah, that's what I try to tell myself is just, I'm just going to assume it's going to be a no.
Since I'm a screenwriting software channel, I have to ask, what do you use and why?
So I've used different softwares throughout my screenwriting career. I began with Final Draft and I now use Final Draft again.